Good. All right. We'd like to welcome 2023 RBC Canadian Open champ Nick Taylor to the interview room. Nick, you're coming off a top 5 at Memorial, a win earlier this season. Can you talk about the state of your game heading into your National Open?
Yeah, my game feels good. It's been a pretty consistent year. Haven't been trying to reinvent the wheel at all, just kind of being a little more consistent off the tee, which has helped. Iron game has been strong in this year, and the short game has been solid. So it's come together nicely in some bigger tournaments, which is always the goal to start the year, is play as well as you can in the big events, and it's been nice to be consistent.
All right, we'll open it up to questions. If you have a question, just raise your hand, and we'll get a mic over to you. All right, let's start right over here.
Hey, Nick. You're sitting, and behind you, the RBC Canadian Open logo is there, 30 times. It's right here on the stage. Like, when you look at that, does every single time do you just kind of chuckle to yourself or laugh, or what do you think when you see it?
Yeah, it's a range of emotions. Chuckle, brings me back to that moment. I didn't actually drive in with my wife today. We saw the one photo of, it's the silhouette of that. In that moment, I always remember when I see my face, it's when I found Dave and just was like a holy, in the moment. So it's a cool thing to see it, and it only is good memories. So it's pretty fun to see it around here, the whole week.
And just on the golf course itself, first impressions, what kind of test do you think it's going to offer this week?
I saw the front nine Monday for the first time, the back nine today for the first time. I think it's kind of hard to gauge. We've played with a different wind those 2 days. There's some really tough par fours on that back nine. There's a few scoreable holes. The fairways are bouncing, so it's tough to hit fairways with the angles of them and some of the crosswinds. And the rough is up enough, it'll be tough to hit it close out of the rough. So I think I could see low scores each day, but I'm not sure if it's going to be in an entirety of the field shooting low scores. So I'm out early tomorrow. One of those where sometimes you might wish you're in the afternoon to see kind of how things are going. But I think there's birdies out there. It's just depending on, I think, the wind in the direction of certain holes. If you're missing a lot of fairways, it'll be tough to make birdies. So I don't think it's going to be a shootout by any means, but there'll be some low scores.
Right here to the left.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, John.
My first question is pretty straightforward. You're in an all-Canadian group the first 2 rounds. How exciting is that for you to get to play with 2 guys that you're friends with and you know really well?
Yeah, it's a comfortable pairing, obviously. I play with those guys, a lot of weeks in practice rounds. So it'll be fun. 2 Ontario boys. There's going to be a lot of support for the 3 of us. So I'm going to enjoy that. All of us caddies, players, all 6 of us are Canadian. We just know each other well. It's going to be a very comfortable pairing. So I think hopefully we can get some birdies going early, get some energy going our way, and hopefully have a few nice rounds.
Pendrith was here earlier, and he said you guys were at an event, and then the group chat blew up when you learned that you're going to be in the same group. What was that moment like when you guys, saw what the tee times were?
Yeah, we were out at RBC Day yesterday. I don't know what to expect necessarily with the pairing this year, but I'm not entirely surprised that they put 3 Canadians together. But the group chat got going pretty quickly there when we knew we were playing together. So again, it's going to be a lot of fun playing with buddies and being comfortable out there.
We'll go to Adam.
I'm just curious about your flow in this early part of the week before the tournament starts. Obviously, there's a couple of different demands on you on the Canadian Open week versus any other week. It's ironic that almost every other week on the PGA Tour, all the Canadian guys play together on Tuesday, except for this week at the Canadian Open. So how have you found you've been able to adjust to this week over the last maybe 5 years and just kind of got better at getting settled and sorted and teeing it up on Thursday again?
Yeah, it's even the 5 years has changed a lot, right? Last year was an entirely different thing than even the year before. More demands on your time, so you just got to be, I've been better, but learning to say no at times in the last few years is important. You want to obviously evaluate everything and try to make the best decisions, but rest is very important these few days, kind of gearing up for Thursday and have enough energy to put your best foot forward. So just managing that and getting enough work in to feel prepared. So I feel like I've done a pretty good job this year, probably better than last year with just how everything was.
Mike Weir has long talked about how much he would love to have another Canadian win the Masters and join him in the Champions locker room. For you, being so close to this group of guys, how cool, how much of an honor, how just neat would it be if another Canadian managed to win, this national championship?
Yeah, I think we all pull for each other. I think it's been great for, I would say, 5-6 years now of us being a close-knit group, playing so often together, but also playing so well. It seems like almost every week one of us is competing, trying to win on the weekend. So, yeah, it would be fun. It'd be fun to be here, rooting them on like they were for me, green side. I hope to be the one trying to win again. But, again, if you're here to be able to witness it, too, it would be a lot of fun.
We'll go to Kevin.
Hey, Nick, you can take this any direction you want, but what is one thing that you like about yourself?
Wow. I think I'm determined. I think I've been that since a young age. Wanting, if it was anywhere from trying to get good grades or being good at golf, I think I've always been determined and being willing to put the work in and learn things and try to get better. So I think that's been a good quality of mine.
And obviously, as a lot of golfers are wired to be critical of yourself and kind of nitpick bogeys and bad shots and stuff, but how can it be beneficial kind of in your career to like yourself and give yourself positive self-talk just as you navigate the whole journey?
Golf is an extremely difficult sport, and I've been guilty of being extremely hard on myself too. It's a quality I think is important to work hard, to be critical of yourself, but there's a way of doing it in the right way. When you're tearing yourself down on the golf course, which is easy to do, I'm sure anyone out here has done that, but it can be wearing if you do it a lot. And for me, most recently, probably last year, times it was too much of that, of expecting too much and being hard on yourself. But a positive attitude is huge. Markle, my caddy, is a light of positivity, and he's helping me throughout the years with that. So it's a balance is for sure, but the more positive you are, it's only better.
And have you, a little different gear, have you ever been to Oakmont?
I haven't, no. I've heard some scary things the last few days.
Is there any type of, obviously this is not like a lead into Oakmont, I still want to win this tournament badly, but is there anything that you think will be key to have dialed in for that week that's kind of in the back of your mind, either like a club or a shot or anything?
These 3 weeks, I think with heavy rough, being in the fairway is super key. I did a good job that last week for the most part. It's probably hack out rough, as in just hit a wedge 50 yards down the fairway and play from there. So if you can be up and around the greens as much as possible. Again, the things I've heard about the rough, the difficulty of that golf course, it's going to be a test. So, again, I've never seen it, but par will be a good score, I guess, would be the best way to put it.
Anyone else? Awesome. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Good luck this week.
Thanks.